Welcome back to the channel, guys. Make money trucking. So how are we supposed to survive in this industry when parts just don't last? Behind me I got my 2011 Freightliner Coronado, and I'm going to show you some parts that we've had to replace. So here's a starter and an alternator. I recently had just replaced the alternator in the truck. Literally, well, the new one just went in a couple weeks ago, but I replaced this alternator about a year and a half ago in a parking lot on my way out east. So I know it very well. Also did a video or short about, replacing alternator in a hotel parking lot along my route. Don't worry about this. I broke this trying to get the pulley off. I got the pulley off, safe sound. This is not part of the, I did this. So yeah, planned obsolescence. These parts are just not made to last anymore. Less than 150,000 miles on this alternator, and the truck was down for almost 7 months while I got all the other things fixed. I made a video about that, and now we go to the starter. So this could be coincidental because the maybe the alternator took out the starter, but literally a week after I did the alternator, the starter also went out. Once again, this starter was replaced about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, but the truck didn't run for like 7 months. So it only had about a year and a half of operating time. Less than 150, 175,000, or about, I'd say less than 150,000 miles. This starter has gone out. I thought it was wiring, so I kept tightening up, some of the fittings, and it is dirty because, we run in, the, dirt and gravel and stuff and mud. But yeah, I don't know how we're supposed to survive. How are we supposed to survive in this industry with parts that are, whether they're coming cheap from China? Ever since COVID, the parts just have not lasted. I've had a lot of these similar trucks over the last 12 years. And, one truck, I had one truck that was my personal truck that I drove. It was an older Century. And I'm pretty sure some of the same parts, if not similar, these are all the Delco Remy parts. You see the box there. So they're OEM replacements. They're not garbage stuff like off of like China or something, eBay from China. I mean, I don't know how many of these components come from China, but the point is that literally, I don't know how we're supposed to survive out here when, and these parts are, sometimes 50% to 100% double what they were, since about 2019. Ever since COVID started, they've been jacking the prices. I've talked ad nauseum on this channel about that. But now, it's for us to survive with. Now we have parts that are more expensive, and now they are lasting atrociously less time than they ever should. Like, I've had a 2008 Freightliner, and that truck, in 6 years of running it really hard, I think I replaced the starter once and the alternator once. This truck behind me with these parts, has gone through 3 starters, and now it's gone through 3 alternators in the span. I've had this truck since 2020. And the truck only, before you say, oh, it's a garbage truck or something like that, well, the truck only had like 400,000 miles on it when I bought it. Now it's got a little bit over 650,000. So shortly after I got the truck, I did a starter and alternator, and then about that year and a half, 2-year mark ago of runtime, I did the starter and the alternator, and then I just did it again. And let me not talk about batteries. So on the other side is the batteries. Batteries, you'll be lucky to get 2 years out of batteries anymore. I don't buy the most expensive batteries, but I don't buy the cheapest either. Like, I don't buy garbage stuff from like China. I usually go to the dealer, get OEM or OEM equivalent. So yeah, let me know if you guys have been experiencing this as well on your trucks. And I just don't know how we're going to survive because, the parts are already way more expensive than they should be. And then now, they're only lasting, what, a quarter of the life they should. When I've had I've had 5 or 6 other trucks that I ran for 2 or 3 years. I don't think I ever replaced a starter alternator in any of those. I mean, batteries, yes, clutches, yes, other stuff that drivers wear and tear, but maybe 1 or 2 starters or alternators in that time frame. Yeah, it's just baffling. I don't know how we're supposed to survive in this industry. Let me know, comment down below if you guys are facing the same thing. It just seems ever since like 2020, we all know what happened, and with all this trade war and stuff, hiking up, and I think it's gonna get worse because if we continue um, with like stuff from China being worse and worse now that we're actively in like this trade thing with them and the tariff, or I'm sorry, the tariff war with China. So I wonder what that's gonna do. But anyways, you guys let me know, comment down below if you've kind of experienced the same thing. All right, have a good one. I'll see you on the next one.